Good afternoon. We're coming to you from the Horse Show here in Midland, Texas for the 2026 Midland County Pig Show. And with us today is Brock Heron from Minco, Oklahoma. He's going to judge and sort the stock today. Brock, tell us a little bit about your background and how you got to be a pig show judge here in Midland County.
Well, thanks for the introduction. I'm really excited to be here. When I was growing up, I showed pigs just like all these kids are doing today, and I guess I just took it really seriously. After a while, it was really all I wanted to do, and kind of snowballed from there. Once I got out of college, I judged a lot of livestock in college. I got out of high school, judged a lot of livestock in college, and basically I built a business when I was in high school and didn't really realize it. When I was done showing, I had probably 20 show pig sows, and people started to show up to buy my pigs, and it just snowballed from there. And that's really all we do now. We're 100% in the show pig business. We really enjoy it. Kind of cherish these opportunities to get to come back and just give back and try to do our best to make sure it's a positive experience for everybody at the show.
Outstanding. So how many shows do you think you'll judge in a year?
Well, that's really dependent on how often I can leave. Sometimes my wife doesn't love that. You know, before we had kids, I probably judged 40, 50 a year. But a lot of those were county shows in Oklahoma. I could go there and back in a day and do 3 or 4 in a week. Now it's different. We have more responsibility now, but we probably judge maybe 10 to 12 only in a year now, so not as many.
So to get to your education and your experience, what's your education background that makes it fit for a great pig show judge?
I think there's quite a few varieties of education that I've been through in my lifetime. When I was in FFA, basically the hub of really good show pigs in the country was my ag chapter in my community. My uncle was an ag teacher at the neighboring community, and then our community was really strong. We would tag in 500 bears between the two chapters every year for like OYE. That's just for OYE, and we would show against each other basically every weekend throughout the winter. So that was really my education when it comes to the show pig business. Is that level of competition was eye-opening, to say the least, and very educational. But I went to high school at El Reno, went to Redlands Community College and judged livestock after that, which is also in El Reno, and then Oklahoma State after that.
Outstanding, and of course Redlands Community College, great history in the livestock judging arena. What are you going to be looking for as these young folks from Midland County bring in their pigs today? Kind of what are your telltales that you're looking for when you name that grand champion?
I'm just looking for the best one. I try not to come in with too many preconceived notions, as I feel like when you do that, maybe you don't pick the best one. So I just want the best one. But also, I want to see who's worked the hardest throughout the year. Like, we've been in the show pig business strictly since I was 14, 15. I'm 34 now. So it's really hard to fool me as far as just like your presentation and that sort of thing. I want them to be presented nicely. Even if your pig's not that great, if I can tell that they've been working hard and really trying with their projects, I feel like that's what I'm looking for. I want effort out of the kids.
You can sure tell when they walk in that gate how many have the hours and the miles before they got here to the county show.
Oh, absolutely. It's obvious. They win at home. They just get the banders here.
There you go. That's a great analogy. Well, you're about to start with the gilts, and then we're going to move into the barrows. Good luck today, and we look forward to watching you sort. I think it's 152 pigs today. So we'll talk to you when it's over, and good luck.
I think a very exciting way to begin here as we start, and 4 really nice projects that I get the opportunity to sort through here. The young lady with the belted gilt is going to win this drive, I think, pretty easily for me. She's a pretty clear-cut winner, very attractive from the side. I like her width and her soundness very well. Skin and hair is absolutely dialed in, and I definitely appreciate that very well. Young man right here with the Berkshire marked gilt is going to go second. From the side, I think she's the second best one. Really like her design. Her skin and hair is really good. Probably comes second in terms of width and stoutness. Also designed relative to my pick to win here, but at the same time, there's a lot of very nice things about her. The spotted appearing gilt is going to go third. I do think second and third have some trade-offs. This gilt is really sound, really opened up. I like her stoutness really well. Maybe not as attractive up and through her front end versus the Berkshire that goes second. The one that goes fourth here, this Chester, possibly Landrace, is a great looking from the side. Super sound. I feel like her hip and rear leg is good. She doesn't lack muscle. I'd like to freshen her up in terms of her skin and hair, but I think those kids have done a nice job as we start the gilt show. Congratulations to all them. Very strong class. As we get into the second class here in this gilt show, I think the top three have got some potential to interchange them. I started the white gilt there in this drive. Just a really good looking, really heavy duty kind of a gilt. I think her bone and her muscle really match and proportion out very nicely, and maybe that's one of the key decisions I have to make between the top pair. I think a gilt that goes away with some width and some stoutness, but the gilt in second is better in that way. The gilt in second here has got such a big set to her shoulder and just kind of spread to her shoulder and mid-body. She does a really nice job driving her around the ring, and I definitely appreciate that. She works hard, and I can tell she's done quite a bit of homework at home. Young lady in the blue right there is going to go third. I think this gilt's got a great design to her front 1/3. Really a good-looking, great sculled kind of a gilt, really muscular and opened up. I'd like to make that gilt a little heavier structured and a little stouter at the ground to move her higher in this particular drive. The Berkshire that's going to follow in fourth is really heavy duty, and I think moves good from the side, big-bodied, maybe just not as attractive as what I would like, but a really nice gilt. And the next pair that come probably lack some dimension versus the others, but I think are nice projects for those young people. Let's give them a big round of applause and congratulate them if you would. As we get into the champion drive here in this gilt show, I think all four of these young people have done a great job. Let's congratulate them with a big round of applause, if you would. I think you can go several different ways when you get out here in this drive between really either class winner for champion in this division. The one that I like best in this case is a young lady from the heavyweight division. She's going to win. Congratulations. For reserve, I do think it gets close between the second place gilt and the gilt that wins Class 1. I think you could go either direction. I think there's just another one that maybe fits my priorities and the kind that I'm drawn to, maybe a little better than the other. A young lady here from Class 1 is going to be reserve. You're going to be third. We're going to do three, so you got third. Good job.
Your champion breeding gilt goes to Riley Smith. Your reserve champion breeding gilt goes to Addie Cook. And third overall goes to Mason Saldana.
Coming to you from the Horseshoe in Midland County, Texas. We're at the County Livestock Show with the judge, Cameron Anderson. 70 goats, 50 sheep. Looked like it was a great bunch to short. Cameron, what did you think about the quality of animals here in Midland County?
I thought the quality was second to none. Like I said in my Grand Drive speech, I get to travel the country doing this stuff, and you never know your expectations. And I can tell you, this one blew them out of the water in terms of quality of animals, and then two, quality of kids.
Kids were great. We had a lot of great showmen that came through. You also got to judge the showman class. Cameron, you're from Wharton, Texas. You're ag teacher at Needville, Texas. Tell us, what's your favorite football team out there?
Oh, it's easily Texas Tech.
Absolutely. Cameron, thank you so much for coming to judge Midland County. Have a safe trip home. Great job sorting the stock. Just talked to Cameron Anderson, the judge at the 2026 Midland County Junior Livestock Show for lambs and goats. But right now we are privileged to have the champions of the Lamb and Goat Show. And we have senior Mason Lee from Midland County 4-H. He won Grand Champion Goat this year, as well as Senior Showmanship. And we have his sister, Sadie Hicks, who won Reserve Champion Goat and Intermediate Showmanship. Now, Mason, you also won Reserve Champion Lamb. And then we have, in the middle, we have Raiden Malvinato, and he won Champion Southdown, Champion Medium Wool, and then also Grand Champion of the show with his Medium Wool Lamb. So, Sadie, I'm going to ask you, what's your goat's name, and when did you think your brother might have beat you this year?
My goat's name is Little Thing, and I knew that Mason's goats were going to be really good this year. I really wanted him to get this since it was his senior year. Just have a great year for him.
Mason, tell us a little bit. You've been showing for a long time. You've had a lot of success, not only at Midland County, but the Texas majors and throughout the United States. Tell us, what is the one thing that you can tell the younger folks at home about the greatness that it is in stock shows and how that makes you the young man that you are?
I would say how it made me sort of the man I am today is not being lazy and going out into the barn after those long days at school and those long days at practice, whatever that may be, and doing homework, just getting out there no matter what the situation is like.
Raiden, you obviously, this is your first year to show lambs, which is a great way to start with Grand Champion banners. What's a day look like in your show animal's life, and what does it take to raise a Grand Champion lamb?
Hard work and not being lazy, like Mason said.
These are some great kids here in Midland County, Texas. Make sure you visit ssa.sale. On Saturday, all 3 of these young people, plus 100 of their closest friends, will be on the sale. You can bid live, or you can give any one of these young people an add-on.
tremendously high-quality set of Berkshires as we started the market show. I like this one right here to win this particular drive, just based on the things that I'm drawn to in terms of bone, athleticism, look from the side, and muscularity. I think he's the place to begin. I would say between the top pair, he's probably a little more mature and further along in terms of his stoutness of feature and his extra shape, because there's a lot of really good things about the bear that comes in second. Really sound structured, great looking from the side. I love his length of body, his feel, his muscularity is good. Probably second best relative to my winner. Also probably second best in terms of bone, but also read him to be a little bit more immature, which is definitely a good thing. But in this case, probably second best in a lot of ways, but I see a lot of future in this pig. Young man there that comes in third, I like a lot of things about this hog. He's big ribbed. He's fresh in terms of his muscle shape and his rib. His feel is very, very nice, and I think his head quality is really good, especially for this breed. To me, as he goes away, his one rear leg is a little questionable. I'd like to make that better, but the things he does well, he does really, really nicely. The next pair probably could be freshened up in terms of skin and hair, but I like this hog's or this bear's stoutness of feature and his look. Just need to freshen him up a little bit in terms of shape, but a nice set all the way through. Congratulations to those kids.
Your results for Class 1 Berks: 5th place, Rayleigh Sneed; 4th place, Riley Henson; 3rd place, Paxton McDaniel; 2nd place, Grant Jerez; and 1st place, Riley Smith.
Another really strong set of Berkshire exhibitors here in this particular drive. The young lady in the vest, I think, has got a pretty comfortable place for me to begin. Good design, muscular type of market hog that's got good width and athleticism to him. Really, just in terms of quality, he's the one that draws me in as well. Young man on the far side there is going to go second. I like that bear's stoutness of feature. His hip and rear leg is something I definitely admire really well as he goes right away, in particular versus the bear in third. But at the same time, I'd like to freshen him up, kind of sharpen him up on the side view. I think there's a lot of good things about the bear here in third. Very, very muscular. I like his feel really well. Pretty cute-headed and more attractive than the hog that came in second. I felt like he was third best in terms of rear leg travel, maybe even fourth best in terms of rear leg travel, so I decided to keep him in three. The hog here is really sound, really comfortable. I definitely like his athleticism and his looseness of spine. I just didn't feel like he massed up in terms of bone and width in comparison to some of the others, so I left him in fourth. But a really nice set of exhibitors there. If you would, give them a big round of applause if you would.
Your results for Class 2 Berks: 4th place, Deegan Voorhees; 3rd place, Mackenzie Paget; Second place, Noah Rivas. And first place, Bella Rivas.
As we get into this third class here in the Berkshire Division, I think a really stout kind of gilt that needs to lead this particular drive off. From the side, I really find a lot of value in that gilt in terms of stoutness to her feature in her head and her skull. I think one that's got a great big rear leg that I think functions good enough. I'm not sure I'd call it swift by any means, but it really square from behind, really has a nice quality kind of look as you study her on the profile. Young man there in the corner is going to go second. I like the basics of this pig really well. I think he's got some width and some foot quality to him. He's really athletic and has good length to his stride. Probably maybe even a little better than the hogs on either side of him in that way. But he's definitely better in terms of his spine and more attractive in his hip and hind leg than the gilt that comes in third. This gilt in third really has neat things and I think represents a lot of breeding value. I like her height to shoulder and her head and neck is really good. A muscular kind of gilt. I think you could argue she could definitely go second. To me, she's just a little bendy and twisty out of her hind leg to move much higher. I like this pig right here that goes next really well in terms of skin and hair. I definitely appreciate the showmanship quality and the presentation of this bear really well. Just as he turns and goes, I got to mass him up and stouten him up to make him a real contender. Young man right here has got a stout, long-strided one that's got a lot of good things going on in terms of just hair and that sort of stuff and foot size. Maybe just not wide enough and stout enough to be a one that I move any higher. But a nice class of Berkshires there. Let's congratulate all those exhibitors with a big hand.
Your results.
Well, 3 high-quality class winners in here. Let's give these kids a big round of applause. I feel like all 3 of these kids have really done a nice job throughout the year with their projects, and we're going to get them out here. I think maybe there's a pair of them that probably just kind of just maybe pair up a little bit better in terms of quality, but between the two, I think there's one that's just a little swifter out back and probably meets what I'm drawn to from the side maybe a little better. Young lady there on the far side with the pink brush is going to win. For reserve in this division, I think it is close between the bear that was second in that class and this bigger gilt. I think you could go either direction depending on the things that you prioritize. The one that I like next best is second in that class. This young man's going to be reserve.
Your breed champion Berkshire goes to Riley Smith. Your reserve breed champion goes to Grant Jerez.
that there's really a pair of them that really pique my interest and get my attention as they come in. This hog right here is going to win this particular drive, really striking from the side. I love his presentation, his feel, and his muscularity up top. Really leads the way for his success here. I think he's got a good hip and rear leg. I do like the gilt in second in terms of her bone really, really well. Her front column of bone is really uncommon within this breed, and I definitely like her agility. Maybe as she goes right away, she's not as open and as expressive in terms of her width and her mass, but in terms of breeding value, that gilt's got a ton of it. The one that goes in third, the young lady drives there on the pin to the left in the purple shirt. Really heavy duty. I love that hog's center body dimension, his muscularity. His skull is really, really good. If there was a pen full of his littermate sisters out here, I would definitely be trying to breed those. That hog just never really wanted to relax and move about the ring. He wanted to kind of keep his head down, his top high, and his hip kind of ducked just a little bit. Young lady in the stripes right there is going to go fourth. Really muscular up top. Got a great look as you study him from the side. He needs more rear width to be a contender here. And as we move down the line, lots of things that I admire. Let's give all those kids a big round of applause. They've definitely tried hard with their projects. Good job.
Ashton Rios, and in first place, Kendi Smith.
Well, I think a really, really strong way to continue here in the Duroc breed, and I think this pig that wins really transcends a lot of things that the Duroc breeds typically does. He's a great-looking one from the side, super mobile. He sits down on his feet really well, but I like the comfort level that he has in terms of his joints on either end of his body. I think he's got good muscle and good width as he comes and goes. Maybe one whenever you really get to blowing on his rib, he can open up and just expand there just a notch and kind of pull his flank down and maybe help him pull into balance just a little bit more, but this one, he just does a lot of the things that Durocs don't. Young lady right here is going to go in second. I like this gill tight to shoulder really well. Tremendous kind of skull dimension and extra muscle shape there. Probably is fuller in terms of a rib design versus the hog that I chose to lead with, but at the same time, probably second best in terms of width, bone, and just appeal from the side. I like a lot of things about this gilt in third. She probably is best suited for a breeding gilt situation. Her length of body and her muscularity definitely piqued my interest. I like her sharp, kind of cute look. At the same time, I'm just not sure her hip and rear leg is as swift as what I would like. I think the one that goes in fourth, the young man drives there, definitely has plenty of shape, plenty of muscularity. He gets a little rounder in his hip for me, and as he goes right away, I'd like to square his hind leg just a little bit. I think this pig coming next, young lady in the bow has a lot of very interesting things. He's moderate. I like his length of body. He's big in terms of his rib cage. He almost looks like he just needs a little more feed to kind of get him to be a little more expressive, both in terms of bone and muscle shape up high. It's almost like maybe we're holding on him a little bit, but I find a lot of value in that pig to stand down the line. I thought a good set of kids here to celebrate in this class. Let's give them a big hand, if you would, please, as they exit the arena.
Your results for Class 5 Durocs: in 7th place, Rexanne Patterson; in 6th place, Jace Molina; in 5th place, Mason Saldana; in 4th place, Noah Rivas; in 3rd place, Riley Henson; in 2nd place, Presley Mathis; and in 1st place, Stockton Mathis.
Well, I think a really tough call in the top end of this class. So I'm going to start with the young man right here in the white shirt. I think he does a really nice job moving his pig about the ring, and I definitely appreciate that. But as I analyze the pair, I go back and forth, and there's a lot of things about each that I like. I'm probably more comfortable in this Gilt's Kind, just in terms of the way she's made from the side. I like her maturity pattern and her condition really well. I think one that's just got an awesome slope to her shoulder. I like her toe design as well, a little shorter and stronger in terms of her toes. And as she goes right away, she's more conservative relative to her stifle width, and probably gives me a more comfortable look in that regard. Young lady right here has really got one that's beefy and burly, extra wide, and I don't mind that at all. Really big ribbed and fluffy, and she's got a good look to her as you study her from the side. Really long strided up front, and I definitely appreciate that. As she goes right away, she's a little wider in terms of her hock. I'd like to stouten her foundation a little bit when she goes right away, and but I think there's a lot of trade-offs between 1 and 2 in this particular drive. Third place here is one that I definitely appreciate a lot in terms of her muscularity and her stoutness really well. Maybe just doesn't balance up on the profile, maybe like some of the others in class, or compared to the ideal as well as what I would like. And the next pair have good length of body, and I definitely think have some agility. Maybe just need to open them up, make them a little stouter to make them real contenders is what I was trying to say, I guess. Let's give all these kids a big round of applause, though, as we continue here in the Duroc breed.
Your results for Class 6 Durocs: in 5th place, Jetta Hartman. In 4th place, Case Colley. In 3rd place, Alfredo Grimaldo. In 2nd place, Kelsey Scott. And in 1st place, Dax Felt. One that I'm going to choose in this particular case just fits me in terms of kind, the very best. Young man from Class 2 is going to win. Congratulations to him. I think a challenging decision to select a reserve in this case. The one that I like second best, though, is the young man from the last class. Congratulations to him. Your breed champion Duroc goes to Stockton Mathis. Your reserve breed champion Duroc goes to Dax Felt.
Well, I think a really strong class to start with as we get into this next breed. I like this pig right here to win this particular drive. He just fits my kind really well as far as his side view. I love his proportionality, his bone and his muscle really matching. I think as he comes and goes, he excels many of the class in that regard. And as you kind of look through, and this just really it doesn't mean a whole lot, but he looks like one of the lighter weight ones in the class, but I feel like he's on the bigger-legged, stouter side of the group, even with maybe battling some weight disadvantage. But I really like a lot of things about that pig to go ahead and win. There's a lot of very interesting things about the hog that comes in second. The young lady has really big-legged, really opened up. I like how genuine she is in terms of her width from the top of her body all the way to the ground. I think a flexible one that's got a lot of good things going in terms of her width and her athleticism. I'd like to breed on one like that, maybe within the top pair, not as smooth in her design, especially right out through her hip and her tail head, but at the same time, I think that one is really interesting to study. The one that comes third right here is super high quality as well. Love this one's presentation. His look from the side in firm shape up top is really good, and I like that one's feel. I didn't know if he was quite as big-legged, but more than anything, I'd like to stretch his hind leg out just a little bit as I stand to the side of him, but still a really high-quality one that has a lot of potential going forward. The one here that comes next is very good. I love this gilt's look from the side. The gilt's head is just so nice. Her width up front, her bone is tremendous. Just as I get behind that gilt, a little more bow-legged than what I would like. I'd like to transition her a little better in her ham loin. But this speaks to the strength of the class, I would say. That's a super high-end kind of a gilt that stands forth, but I really liked a lot of things about her. Really a strong class all the way through. The young lady in the blue is going to go next. He's very high-end in terms of his width and his muscle and his mass. Maybe a little shorter stepping than what I like. But I think that's a very nice fifth-place hog here at this particular show. Let's give all these kids, as we get into these Hampshires, a big round of applause, if you would, please.
Your results for Class 7 Hamps: in 8th place, Kylie Redfern; in 7th place, Noah Rivas; in 6th place, Grant Jerez; in 5th place, Brayley Wade; in 4th place, Bailey Morcom; in 3rd place, Kendi Smith; in 2nd place, Brenley Everett; and in 1st place, Cambry Wilson.
Well, lots of parts and pieces in this class I definitely find a lot of value in. Ultimately, though, I think this pig wraps it up into one package the best, really, of anything within the drive. Really a stout rear-legged kind of hog. It's got a powerful forearm to him, and without question, probably the most comfortable in terms of his skeleton, but I still think muscular and opened up and does a lot of things really well. A young man there at the belted pig in the red is going to go second. I think that pig is just uncommonly heavy-structured and big-footed. I like his look and his kind of design from his mid-body forward really well. He gets a little rounder in the way his hip is made, a little different in the way his hock is made, and I would definitely like to improve him there, but I definitely like his muscle and his extra stoutness as I study him really as he comes and goes. The one here that comes next is really sound, and I like this hog's feet and legs really well. This one has a great look as you study him from the side. He's a little modest in terms of his shape and his dimension for me. I'd like to give him a little bit more, especially in terms of his shoulder and right down his loin edge, but in terms of comfort level, he may be as good as anything within this drive. I like this one right here if we can make his hind leg better. He's got great big legs, pretty square as he comes at me. Got a nice look from his shoulder forward. His hip and rear leg is a bit of a downfall for him, and I tried to get past that, but ultimately I couldn't. But I think fourth place on one like that is good. We just need to get him going a little better from behind to improve his chances here in this particular drive. But great set to go through. Let's congratulate all these kids with a big round of applause.
Your results for Class 8 Hamps: in 8th place, Bella Rivas; in 7th place, Sophia Lockhart; in 6th place, Markley Mathis; in 5th place, Stockton Mathis; in 4th place, Brayley Wade; in 3rd place, Sophia Lockhart; in 2nd place, Noah Rivas; and in 1st place, Joseph Hall.
I think a really interesting class, and things that are definitely challenging to assemble here in this class, just in terms of totals. I think a lot of parts and pieces throughout that are definitely some that I like quite a bit. I'm going to start with this young man in the pink shirt right here to win this drive. I left this pig out the entire time. I was questioning his rear leg early, and honestly, it never got worse. That is the place I'd still like to make him better, but in the whole scheme of things, he probably comes as close to answering my requests in terms of look and pattern and kind, as well as anything within this drive. This is a really interesting, kind of far-reaching, extreme gilt that goes in second, extra of everything. She's got all the bone, all the width, all the mass, but she's also a tad bit rounder and coarser than I like on either end, but I could see her fitting in quite a bit better in terms of a breeding gilt situation than she does here. I think the one that goes in third is one that's interesting to me, and you could realistically call this one the sound, comfortable one that's square built on either end and work him all the way up. And I don't think I would argue that really. It's just when I see him come and go, I'd like to give him a little more real muscle to make him kind of a real market hog and a contender here, but I like his comfort level a great deal. This one here that comes next is really basic, and I like that about him very well, and I like his skull and his look from his shoulder forward. He's got good muscle shape and loin edge dimension up top. I think you could get him higher than this if you want, because he's more muscular than the hog that goes ahead of him. I just felt like he was a little shorter strided, a little shorter in terms of his hip design. There's a lot of very good things about this pig that comes next, but you gotta catch it quick. He gets a little angry and a little shorter stepping. I like his look and his quality from the side. As he goes away, needs more to him, and he needs to withstand the drive a little better, but I like a lot of things about that pig. Congratulations to all these kids. They've done a very nice job. Let's give them a hand if you would, please.
Your results for Class 9 Hamps: in 7th place, Rayleigh Sneed; in 6th place, Brenley Everett; in 5th place, Barrett McDaniel; in 4th place, Carson Mitchell; in 3rd place, Bailey Morcom; in 2nd place, Kelsey Scott; and in 1st place, Jackson Jerez.
Well, as we get here in the Hampshires, I think 3 really outstanding class winners that really represent their divisions extremely well. Let's give all these kids a big round of applause and congratulate them. I think it becomes relatively straightforward when I get out here and just kind of study these hogs. I like lots of things about each one, but when it comes to totals, there really isn't one that challenges this lightweight. He's going to win. Congratulations to her. Good job. think it becomes closer here for reserve in the Hampshire division. I probably felt like there was maybe one class that was really striking. I'm going to keep them together. Young lady in the red there is going to be reserve. Congratulations to her.
Your breed champion hamp goes to Cambry Wilson. Your reserve breed champion hamp goes to Brinley Everett.
Well, I think a really, really good class of these spots to start this out with, and I think a really nice place to begin. I really never wavered from this bear here. So high quality, such a good look from the side. I like his width and his comfort level really well, and I feel like he's taking the transition over to spot very smoothly. The one right here that goes into second is so thick and so massive. I like that one. Stoutness to her forearm, or stoutness to her rear leg, really, really well. Maybe a little bulkier in terms of her neck than what I would like, but at the same time, I'd like to maybe make that one a little more attractive in the profile, from the profile, I should say, compared to my pick to win. I think this pig coming next has got a lot of, really the next pair have got a lot of future. Both from the side are really striking, really good design. They're very, very agile. I felt like this pig, in terms of his scale to width underneath, had the advantage between 3 and 4. This pig just needs a little more time to get there in terms of his rib and his mass up top, but I like that pig very, very well. This pig also is one that piqued my interest. Probably a different show judge, I think this pig would do better, because he's such a good-looking one in terms of his head and his skull, really crisp in terms of his muscle shape. I just wish he was a little wider underneath, but I can see that pig really getting along very well one day whenever he gets there. I think there's a lot of good things going on with him. The next group that comes have got some soundness to them, probably don't lack for some muscle. I just like to balance them up just a touch better on the profile. Intend a stronger here, but a nice set. Congratulations to all those kids.
Your results for Class 10 Dark OPB: in 7th place, Xander Casillas; in 6th place, Avery Henson; in 5th place, Riley Henson; in 4th place, Markley Mathis; in 3rd place, Markley Mathis; in 2nd place, Aaliyah Lloyd; and in 1st place, Riley Smith.
Another really, really good class here in this particular breed to go through, and I like both of these that remain in the ring really well. I think they're both super high end and have a lot of quality. Young man right there is going to win this particular drive. I really like this pig in a lot of ways. His width matches his skeleton really well. I think his hip and hind leg is very, very good, and he just gives me the right kind of silhouette from the side that I'm typically drawn to. And as you study the pair, I like this one's length from his shoulder forward and his length of hip really well, and I feel like there's a pair advantage in terms of just his bone and foot size and squareness as he goes right away relative to his muscle. I like this gilt a lot that comes in second here. She will win and probably has. I like her length of body. She's really dense in the center part of her rib, a very muscular kind of gilt. I think she goes really well and has a great hip and rear leg. Maybe second best in terms of just foot size and ankle and stoutness of feature, in particular her rear leg, but a very, very nice second place gilt here in this particular class. The one that goes in third right here, this young man has probably the only pole in this that I've seen in the last few classes. I think this hog's look is awesome. I think his muscle shape and his loin edge up top is really good. Maybe we could spread him as he goes right away in terms of his hip and his stifle. Probably need to make him a little happier all the way through the drive. You want to get a little angry, but I think once you kind of get this one into the poles and get him settled in, I think he's got a lot of potential. This one also has got a bright future, in my opinion. He's far from ready. He's really heavy structured, really loose built, really bendy, and I like all those things. Need to get him shaped up just a little bit more, and I would like to tweak his front toes just a little bit as he comes right at me. But I felt like a strong class, and this young lady's really got a nice gilt as well. Really hard shaped, great looking from the side. Gets a little shorter in her hip, a little straighter in terms of her hock, and I'd like to make her better there. But a great class. Let's give all those kids a big round of applause, if you would.
Your results for Class 11 Darko PB: in 7th place, Alfonso Villarreal Jr. In 6th place, Keely Ivy. In 5th place, Presley Mathis. In 4th place, Grant Jerez. In 3rd place, Barrett McDaniel. In 2nd place, Kinley Scott. And in 1st place, Dax Felt.
Well, I think a really, really good class to go through, and several on the upper end of things I definitely like. I like this one that's a little bit upset to win this drive. She's just a really high-quality, good-looking kind of a gilt. I love her bone in her rear leg. I wish she was a little less like a spot relative to her attitude, though. This one here that goes next, I think within her breed, does a lot of things really well. Really good-looking kind of a gilt, really muscular up top. I like her genuine width and her mass very, very well. Maybe between the two, not as good in her rear leg and ankle and just stoutness from behind, but at the same time, I think this is a Poland gilt that does a lot of things very well for that particular breed. Young man there in the pink has got our third place in this drive. I think one that represents a lot of fundamental things that I appreciate. I like his length of body, relatively square up over the top of his shoulder, I think, and I think has potential. Just needs to get there in terms of his width, get there in terms of his freshness for me as we study him really from the side, but I think there's a lot of potential in that particular hog. As we get down the line, I think there's some length of body, probably some stoutness of feature as well. Need to make them a little fresher in their presentation to move them any higher, but I thought a strong class. Let's give all those kids here in this division a big hand, if you would, please.
Your results for Class 12 Dark OPB: in 6th place, Jetta Hartman; in 5th place, Jace Molina; in 4th place, Jenna Langehenning; in 3rd place, Jackson Jerez; in 2nd place, Dax Felt; and in 1st place, Kelsey Scott.
I think three really outstanding representatives from their classes. Let's give these kids a big round of applause, if you would. if you're ringside, spots really don't look like this all the time. And one thing that makes it challenging with these three for me is they're all going to go to different shows, and they're in different stages of their maturity, and just I probably just have different really endpoints, and it makes it challenging because I really appreciate all of them for separate reasons, and what they do well, they really do very, very well. And when I get out here, the one that I like the very best is one that's just kind of different for this breed, and probably stands out in that way. I'm not sure. I've judged many spots of this caliber, and I maybe question myself a little bit, but if they were all just Hampshires or crossbreds, this is the one I would like the best. I'm going to use a young lady from Class 1. Congratulations to her. Once again, reserve in this division is very, very challenging. I think the pair of class winners are definitely ones that contend here. The one that I like second best is the young man in the white. Congratulations to him.
Your breed champion, Dark OPB, goes to Riley Smith. Your reserve breed champion, Dark OPB, goes to Dax Felt.
here that got a little angry later in the drive. When this pig first came in, I was just so impressed by this pig's skull, his foot size, his bone work, the stoutness of feature he has to his rear leg, his muscle shape up top. We just got to get him to withstand the drive and be a little more comfortable. He looks like a real winner here in the Chester division. Young lady right here that comes in third, I like this gilt's stoutness and her muscularity very, very well. Really has a lot of dimension to her forearm and rear leg, and I like that. Maybe a little bumpier in terms of her transitions as you study her on the profile. I think right here is a really interesting kind of pig that's got a lot of length to stride, and I definitely like his rib cage and his muscularity. I'd like to clean up his skin and hair and his presentation and square him up from behind just a notch, but I felt like a really strong class from start to finish. Congratulations to them. Let's give them a hand if you would, please.
Your results for Class 13 Wide OPB: in 6th place, Faith Casillas; in 5th place, McKaylee Fallon; in 4th place, Aaliyah Lloyd; in 3rd place, Carson Mitchell; in 2nd place, Kendi Smith; and in 1st place, Dax Felt.
I think an interesting class to navigate here. I'm going to start with the young man right there to win this particular drive. Quality-wise and just compared to the ideal, he's really the place to begin within the class. Really heavy-duty, long-strided, big-legged. Brings some muscle to the table as well, and kind of got some outlying pieces relative to the wide OPBs, and maybe he kind of stretches my definition of what that is, but I think a really high-quality pig. This one here that goes next is really bold in terms of his shoulder and center body, and very, very muscular. I think has a nice nice hip and hind leg. Maybe just doesn't balance from the side as appropriately as what I would like. This one that goes next is really smooth in terms of his build, and I definitely like that. Has good feel and center body and great muscle tone to his loin edge. I'm just not sure he's heavy enough duty, but at the same time, I think one that balances and matches and is appropriate in terms of those things. The next pair have got some width and some mass. They just need to balance up just a little bit better on the profile, but a nice set of these white OPBs. Congratulations to all those kids.
Your results for Class 14 White OPB: in 5th place, Case Colley; in 4th place, Jackson Jerez; in 3rd place, Corley Howard; in 2nd place, Stockton Mathis; and in 1st place, Barrett McDaniel.
Well, I think a tough decision here in this breed. I go back and forth, and I think either one could win realistically. The one that I'm the most comfortable with comes from Class 1. The young man in the white shirt is going to win. Congratulations to him. I really like both of these really well. The one that I'm going to use for reserve is just a bit of an outlier. I'm not really sure where he fits in terms of his breed character and those type of things, but the young man there from Class 2 is going to be second.
Your breed champion White OPB goes to Dax Felt. Your reserve breed champion White OPB goes to Barrett McDaniel.
Well, I think a really strong way to start here in the Yorkshires. This young lady is going to win the class. And I think there is a top pair, but at the same time, I'm not sure I really ever waver from this particular bear winning. So striking from the side, super high quality, got a great stout rear leg to him. Just a really solid place to begin. Young man in the pink here is going to go second. I like this hog just in terms of his basic and general build. I like his length of body, his height of shoulder, maybe second best in terms of bone and rear leg travel compared to what I like or the bear that wins. The one that comes here next, I think this young man does a really good job moving him around the ring. I like his ability to show this pig really well. I like his body positioning. Maybe not as fresh in terms of his condition, in terms of his skin and hair, or just his composition. But at the same time, I think a really solid place to stand down the line here in this class. One that's really muscular and got some stoutness here. Same could be said for the hog that finishes. I wish this pig maybe didn't injure herself along the way. There's a lot of good things there. Congratulations to all these kids here in the Yorkshires. Let's give them a hand if you would, please. Really like this pig that wins this particular drive. Just from the side, really does a lot of things very, very well. Really cute in his design. Got good dimension to his chest and his center body, and I think one that has really good dimension up top and goes away with the right kind of width. And I think he does that as good as anything in the class, just in terms of combining some width with the right kind of structural build that I'm drawn to. Young lady that goes in second right here really has a nicely presented one. I like that one's hair. His features really good. Big-footed one that's got a good look in his own right. Maybe he's a little flatter in terms of his rib design and maybe a little more upright at the top of his hip and all the way down to the ground. Maybe doesn't move quite as agile as what I would like, but I like his dimension really well. I like his kind of a stout, honest kind of look in terms of width as he goes right away. Young man in the white shirt that comes out in third. There's really good things about this pig in terms of his skull, his dimension. From his shoulder forward, he's really good. I like the set he has to his front column of bone really well. He's a little drier in his rib design, and then as he goes right away, not as stout in terms of his rear leg, not as full in terms of his dimension, but I think there's good days ahead of this particular pig that comes in third here. Young man in fourth really has a stout one. I like that one's skull and his muscularity, or her skull and muscularity, I should say. Probably needs to be a little smoother in terms of her look to be a real contender, but I thought a great class here in the Yorkshires. Congratulations to all these kids. Give them a hand if you would.
Your results for Class 16 Yorks: in 6th place, Jacob Ramos; in 5th place, Brenley Everett; in 4th place, Alfredo Grimaldo; in 3rd place, Dax Felt; in 2nd place, Sophia Lockhart; and in 1st place, Riley Smith.
This is really an excellent set of these White Crosses, Yorkshires that we go through out here. Give all these kids a big round of applause if you would. I think when we let all four out, I'm really comfortable with the class winners in the second places, and I think they have a lot of potential. I'm going to use the young lady here from Class 2 that wins. Congratulations to her. She's going to win. The young lady here from Class 1 is going to be reserved.
Your results for breed champion York goes to Riley Smith. The reserve breed champion York goes to Riley Smith. We're going to take a quick 10-minute break, and we'll be right back with the light crosses.
Coming to you from the Horseshoe in Midland County, Texas. We're at the County Livestock Show with the judge, Cameron Anderson. 70 goats, 50 sheep. Looked like it was a great bunch to short. Cameron, what do you think about the quality of animals here in Midland County?
I thought the quality was second to none. Like I said in my Grand Drive speech, I get to travel the country doing this stuff, and you never know your expectations, and I can tell you this one blew them out of the water in terms of quality of animals, and then two, quality of kids.
Kids were great. We had a lot of great showmen that came through. You also got to judge the showman class. Cameron, you're from Wharton, Texas. You're ag teacher at Needville, Texas. Tell us what's your favorite football team out there?
Oh, that's easily Texas Tech.
Absolutely. Cameron, thank you so much for coming to judge Midland County. Have a safe trip home. Great job sorting the stock. Just talked to Cameron Anderson, the judge at the 2026 Midland County Junior Livestock Show for lambs and goats. But right now we are privileged to have the champions of the Lamb and Goat Show. And we have senior Mason Lee from Midland County 4-H. He won grand champion goat this year as well as senior showmanship. And we have his sister, Sadie Hicks, who won reserve champion goat and intermediate showmanship. Now, Mason, you also won reserve champion lamb. And then we have, in the middle, we have Raiden Malvinato, and he won champion Southdown, champion medium wool, and then also grand champion of the show with his medium wool lamb. So, Sadie, I'm going to ask you, what's your goat's name, and when did you think your brother might have beat you this year?
My goat's name is Little Thing, and I knew that Mason's goats were going to be really good this year. I really wanted him to get this since it was his senior year. Just have a great year for him.
Mason, tell us a little bit. You've been showing for a long time. You've had a lot of success, not only at Midland County, but the Texas majors and throughout the United States. Tell us, what is the one thing that you can tell the younger folks at home about the greatness that it is in stock shows and how that makes you the young man that you are?
I would say how it made me sort of the man I am today is not being lazy and going out into the barn after those long days at school and those long days at practice, whatever that may be, and doing homework, just getting out there no matter what the situation is like.
Raiden, you obviously this is your first year to show lambs, which is a great way to start with grand champion banners. What's a day look like in your show animal's life, and what does it take to raise a grand champion lamb?
Hard work and not being lazy, like Mason said.
These are some great kids here in Midland County, Texas. Make sure you visit ssa.sale. On Saturday, all three of these young people, plus 100 of their closest friends, will be on the sale. You can bid live, or you can give any one of these young people an add-on.
It's a great way to start the light crosses, and I think really 3 of them that have a lot of quality up here, even though 2 of them definitely separate more. Young lady right here is going to win this drive. It's so good looking from the side. He really balances and proportions really well. I love that pig's length to his rump and his ability just to stretch out his hind leg as he goes right away. Young lady right here is going to go second. Just a really striking bear from the side, really, really high end in terms of just bone and hair and build. I would like to maybe lengthen his step from behind just a little bit to contend with this winner. The young lady right here that goes third really has a thick, powerful one. I like his rib cage. I like his muscle up top. Maybe a little rounder, a little more prominent in terms of his pole and really hip design than I prefer, but a really strong place to go third in this class. Young man right here has really got a stout, moderate, short-bodied one. I like that gilt's muscle really well. She's a little upright in her shoulder, maybe a little shorter stepping out back that I prefer, but a really strong class from start to finish. Let's congratulate all these kids as we get started here in the light crosses.
Your results for Class 17 Light Cross: in 8th place, Lance Griffith; in 7th place, Gracie Gamboa; in 6th place, Adeline Ivy; in 5th place, Sebastian Rios; in 4th place, Adam Stapleton; in 3rd place, Sophia Lockhart; in 2nd place, Kendi Smith; and in 1st place, Kendi Smith.
I think another very strong class here in the light crossbred as they go through. The young lady in the black is going to win this drive. I just think that's the most striking one from the side that does a lot of things really well, and obviously crowd favorite, so that's always good too. I think a strong place to begin. Young lady right here is going to go next. I think a good-bodied one that's got some stoutness and width to his chest, pretty square in terms of his rear leg, a little rounder and more mature on either end of his body, and probably a little more nondescript in terms of his shape than I prefer. The one here that comes next, young lady has, I think is a big-bodied, kind of a broad one that's got some stoutness to him. He's a little puffier in terms of his joints, a little deeper in terms of his throat than I would like. Young lady right there that goes in fourth has got one that's pretty broad, got some width to him, probably a little leveler in terms of his hip than the one that goes in third, and definitely cleaner jointed. Gets a little bowier as he goes right away than I definitely like. A really strong class to go through there again. I look forward to the champion drive. Let's congratulate all those kids, if you would, please.
Your results for Class 18 Light Cross: in 7th place, Jenna Langehenning; in 6th place, Jace Molina; in 5th place, Bailey Morcom; in 4th place, Kelsey Scott; in 3rd place, Kinley Scott; in 2nd place, Carson Mitchell; and in 1st place, Tyler Addy.
Well, I think it's been a really high-quality light crossbred or blue division to go through, and I think when we get out here, I think there's a pair of them just come together really easily for me, and we're going to keep them together. The ones first and second from Class 1 are going to be champion in reserve. Congratulations to them.
Your breed and reserve breed champion Light Cross both go to Kendi Smith.
Good way to start here in the dark crossbreds, and I need to be aware of that. Sometimes you get hit across the face every now and then, and that's definitely okay. I really appreciate these young kids coming out here and trying and getting their pigs shown really well. So young lady right here is got my favorite in this class. Really one that brings good agility as you study him from the side, great body shape, good look from the side. Would like to open his knee just a little bit and improve him in that way, but at the same time, his maturity pattern and kind, I think, leads the way for his win here. Young man with this spotted one is going to go next. This one's extra wide, extra stout, and I definitely like those things. He's just a little jammed up in terms of his front end, a little different in his pull. I'd like to make him a little different there, but at the same time, I like a lot of the basic things that he does. Young man right here that comes out next drives his pig really well, and I definitely appreciate that. He's got a good look from the side, really an athletic one, and this is a pig that's got a lot of future and a lot of potential. Just needs to probably come with a little more width, a little more mass to be a real contender. The next one here is a pretty good looking, kind of typey, good design one from the side. A little more refined than I prefer, though. I'd like to open his ribs, stouten his bone, but that's a nice pig that's presented really well. As we get down the line, these kids are trying hard with their projects, and I really appreciate that. Let's give them a big hand as they exit the ring.
Your results for Class 19 Dark Cross: in 8th place, Lance Griffith; in 7th place, Faith Casillas; in 6th place, Sebastian Rios; in 5th place, Bella Rivas; in 4th place, Bailey Morcom; in 3rd place, Stone Saldana; in 2nd place, Grant Jerez; and in 1st place, Riley Smith.
really good way to continue here in the dark crossbreds. I really like this pig that wins this particular drive, really striking from the side and puts together the things that I'm drawn to just in terms of agility and proportionality, and presented so well. Young man right here that goes second. I like this hog from the side also quite well, a muscular one that's got a good look from his shoulder forward. I think one that brings good stoutness of feature, maybe second best in that way though compared to my pick, and probably second best off of his rear leg as well here in class. Young lady right here that comes next has a moderate one that's presented really nicely. I really like this pig's skin and hair. He's got muscle, and he's got some balance from the side. He gets a little more refined in his back foot as he goes right away for me as you get to the ground, but I think there's a lot of good things about that pig to stand third. This one's got really crazy pieces to me. I love that pig's skull, his feature, his bone, and his stoutness is really excellent. Maybe just a little more streamlined in his rib cage and not as good off his rear leg travel as he goes right away. But there's things about him, if we could pull it all together, he would be very, very high end. Young lady that comes next has really done a nice job with their projects throughout the day. This one's got great skin and hair, good muscle. I just maybe don't find the quality in that one that I'm drawn to, and maybe some of the others in the class. But I think she's done a great job presenting her projects throughout the day. Let's give all these kids a big round of applause, if you would, please.
Your results for Class 20 Dark Crosses: in 8th place, Jace Molina; in 7th place, Braylee Wade; in 6th place, Kyson Sneed; in 5th place, Riley Henson; in 4th place, Presley Mathis; in 3rd place, Braylee Wade; in 2nd place, Stockton Mathis; and in 1st place, Brinley Wilson.
really good set of pigs to go through here in this class. Young lady right here with the bow is going to win. Congratulations. I really like that pig just in terms of flexibility. Got great width, big-footed, a nice look, and presented really, really well. Young lady right here that goes second. I think this one's got a lot of good things going on just in terms of a stoutness of feature and just muscularity and with the skeleton. Maybe not as attractive on his profile versus what I like in the bear that wins this particular class. Young lady here in third really has a sound one that's presented to the max, and I like that. A really big ribbed and fresh and muscular up top. I didn't know if his bone, especially as he went right away, was good enough, but I see a lot of potential in that pig as you move down the line. Young man right here that goes next really has a muscular one. Is attractive in terms of his skull, thick and opened up, and really dimensional up top. I just don't know if his bone and his muscularity match up. I'd like to make him just a little bit bigger legged for him to proportion out just a notch better. Give all these kids a big round of applause. They only have one more class to go. They've done a very, very nice job.
Your results for Class 21 Dark Cross: in 7th place, Jace Molina. In 6th place, Joseph Hall. In 5th place, McKaylee Fallon. In 4th place, Alfonso Villarreal Jr. In 3rd place, Tyler Addy. In 2nd place, Carson Mitchell. And in 1st place, Mason Saldana.
Well, I think a pair here that are pretty different relative to their kind, and maybe neither are probably just dialed in exactly at the moment for their endpoint. But I understand where they're at. I like this pig that wins this class in a lot of ways. Heavy duty, and just the thing that I really just appreciate about him, just kind of on top of things like cherry on top type situations. He's really manicured, and I really like that. He's got such a good look from the side. His skin and hair is just dialed in, and maybe he's deceiving a little bit from his chine into his loin edge there from the outside, but when he gets in there, he's got great shape to him. A nice place to begin. This hog here that goes second is really flexible. I like his agility, his range of motion is really, really good. He's got a very soft look to him. I'd maybe like to just tweak him in that way in terms of his competition or composition compared to my pick to win here, but I think a nice pair you can kind of go back and forth on. Young lady right here that goes next, her pigs look very similar throughout the day. I like their length of body. I like their rib cage. They're well above average in terms of muscle and extremely fresh. I just like to change this pig's hip and rear leg a little bit. He's just a touch rounder than what I would deem ideal. Young lady right here that comes next has got one that's really good in terms of skin and hair as well. Really, really sound. Just need to sharpen up his toes a little bit and make him just a little bit firmer in terms of his shape. I thought a really strong class here. Congratulations to all these kids. Let's give them a big hand if you would, please.
Your results for Class 22 Dark Cross: in 8th place, Jenna Langehenning. 7th place, Paxton McDaniel. 6th place, Corley Howard. 5th place, Corley Howard. 4th place, Sophia Lockhart. 3rd place, Braylee Wade. 2nd place, Kendi Smith. And 1st place goes to Brinley Wilson.
Well, I think an interesting drive to go through here, and I think there's several out here that have some real pieces that I appreciate. Young lady right here is going to win. I like that pig's agility. His comfort level is really good, and his balance and proportionality really fits me well. And he could be better in terms of his chest and his knee as he comes right at me, and probably just pulled apart in his rib as well. But there's things about him I really like, especially his hip and hind leg. Young man that goes in second here. This one's got the muscle and the width that I definitely like. I like his kind as I study him from the side. That type of hair, that look, his definition he has to his loin edge is really good. He needs to be square in terms of his rear leg, and that's where really the bear ahead of him edges him out. Young lady with the black one that comes next, really a big-bodied, muscular kind of a gilt, opened up, and I like that about her really well. She looks like a breeding gilt to me that you need to take to the sow pen and work with.